good day for comedy.
Welcome to the stage, Diane Spencer!
Well, thank you so much for coming. I have fantastic news. I've recently become a mother.
Yay!
Thank you. Well, they're my stepkids, so they just appeared. I mean, who knew? You know, when you fall in love with someone, I fell in love with someone who's divorced, so I call them my little refugees. Because they've come from a conflict zone. I've got 2 girls. I was so happy when I found out I had girls, so I started making a list of girly names. And then Kevin said to me, "Babe, they're 12 and 15 years old. You can't rename them." I said, "Babe, they're children, not boats." He's so superstitious. Stepkids are like rescue animals. Just say the new name as you look them in the eye. They catch on, you know, and they learn even faster when you train them with food. Well, the other day we were all going to go out and it was my treat. And the eldest, she pulls me aside and she went, "Di, you do remember my real name. It's Ellie." And I went, yeah. "But you're my child now. And I want to go to Nando's with C-3PO. The little one, she doesn't make a fuss, so I've called her Keith. I love those 2 little girls. I love them as much as any mother loves her children every Sunday and Tuesday afternoon. I help them with their homework. Like, they say things to me like, "Were you alive in World War II?" And I say, "Yeah. I was a captain on the longboats. We raided many a Saxon village, but thankfully our warriors went to Valhalla." I have no idea what happened in World War II. And now, neither do they. And isn't that what family is about? Just passing ignorance down? Kevin's absolutely gorgeous. You may or may not know he's a comedian. Yeah. And we met at work. Did anybody else here fall in love with someone at work? Okay, let me broaden that. Anybody else fucked a work colleague? There we go, you see? Yes. Well, that's why they give you stationary cupboards and disabled toilets. And that's why it's so much more risky working in schools. Good on you. That's good. He is also in the films, my Kevin. Oh, yeah. Okay, he was a body double for Ralph Fiennes in the Harry Potter films. Yes, you are looking at a woman who has shagged Voldemort in the back of a Nissan Micra. Bucket lists, I know. I mean, witches, black cats, wizards, ginger pussies. We live together in Chessington, and people say, "Chessington? You live in Voldemort?" Right, they'll have to cut that. They go, "Oh, Chessington? You live in Chessington World of Adventures with Voldemort?" And I go, "No, I live in Chessington." And they say, "But there's nothing else there." And I go, "Oh yeah, I do live in a giant teapot next to some fucking monkeys." "No, you cunt." I don't live in a giant teapot. But we do live in a ghost house. Well, that's what we tell people because the previous owner died in the lounge. Oh yeah, we call it our ironically titled living room. Please don't panic, we have redecorated, and to further cleanse it, we've had sex in that room. Yes, there's been no spiritual retribution, though I did think I found some ectoplasm, but it turned around Kevin had just spun round a bit quick. I was like, "Babe, you've Expelliarmus on the curtains again." I'm not not scared of ghosts. Do you know what I am scared of? Fun fairs, oddly enough. But they're supposed to be terrifying. That's why the rides have things like Terminator and Hellraiser and Justin Bieber on the side. And they've always got names, haven't they? Like the organ cutter and the thigh slicer and tongue. Yeah, I saw one called, I did see one called the organ collector. And on the side was a spray-painted montage of a completely privatised NHS. That's political, that was good, wasn't it? Yeah, I read. You see, I prefer living next to a theme park, not a fun fair, because at least with a theme park you can take legal action if something goes wrong. I mean, as we discovered with those poor people who got in that roller coaster crash last year, didn't we? I mean, bless them. You've got to be this tall to ride. You might be this tall when it finishes. Thank you. But at least they could take legal action. That is what I am saying, right? Yeah. I mean, you can't take legal action with a fun fair. If you go on a ride at a fun fair, you have silently agreed to be financially robbed and sexually assaulted. That is how I lost my virginity. I went to a fun fair when I was 15 in Sherborne. I went on the waltzers and my hymen was bashed out by a very unforgiving safety bar. I do miss Sherborne. I miss Sherborne a lot because that's where I'm from originally, in Dorset. And do you know what I miss the most? Catching a train. Well, when you catch a train in Dorset, it's an event. Like, your whole family comes with you to the train station and you all go half an hour early so you can get a seat in the cafe, so you can have a cake and talk about where you're going. And you get a Dorset cappuccino, and that's an instant white coffee with squirty cream on the top. And then the people on the next table, they say, "Where are you going to?" And you go, "Oh, I'm going to London." And they go, "Oh, Sarah went to London, you should meet up." And then the train pulls in and the entire town of Sherborne gets on the platform and the mayor's there and they have a meat raffle. You get on the train, you put your suitcase in, and then it slowly leaves and your mum pretends to run alongside to wave you goodbye. It's lovely. And then suddenly you're out in nature and it's great. And you talk to each other and you say, "Where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going here, I'm going there." And it's so exciting. I have one train that comes from London to Chessington now. They like to cancel it a lot. I don't hear people talking on it often. The one time I heard it was a family and I thought, "Oh, yay." And this is the conversation. "Oh, God, why are you kids always looking at your phones? Nana, if you don't fucking shut up, I'm gonna fucking slap you." I was like, "Oh, did we have a nice day at Chavington World of Sunburn?" Please don't panic, because the parents got involved, you know, mainly to restrain Nana. She was serious about that fight. I knew she was when she flipped her sovereign rings to the inside. She started that fight. She was shaking and punching. It was like Muhammad Ali in a floral 90. I miss nature. I do. I miss it a lot. I have to get it all now from documentaries. Did anybody see March of the Penguins? Oh, it was beautiful. There's all these penguins. Sorry to give away the plot. And they start off at point A and they go to point B. I don't know the difference between the 2 points, I'll be honest. They're all just icy, but at point B they all have kids, so I'm assuming the schools are better. And they say they march, but they don't. They're penguins. Their top speed is sort of like a primary school sports day. They kind of go like that. Like, that's how a penguin... Or they're like teenagers. They sort of go, "Oh, God, I can't believe I've got to go through this fucking ice every fucking year. Every fucking year I've got to put 8 a beer and have children." And Morgan Freeman narrates it. And what puzzles me is that not all of them make it. Like... But they film it, and there was like a blizzard in March of the Penguins, and one penguin looks the wrong way for 10 seconds, he gets separated from everyone else, and the camera looks at the group, and Morgan Freeman says, "These are the lucky ones, because they will survive the winter." Pans to the lone penguin. "But one of the members has got separated from the tribe, and now he begins his lonely walk to death." And I'm watching this thinking, well, tell him. the camera. Just run over to the penguin. Hello, they're over there. They don't. Do you know what they do? They pan back to create a panoramic shot so you can see how large Antarctica is and how tiny this one little penguin who, God, I can't even find everybody now, like just dropping off to suicide. And then they say, these penguins are endangered. Oh, I wonder why. I wonder why. Maybe it's because you send psychotics to film them. Like, instead of spending all that money on hiring a film crew and hiring the planes to fly them out and hiring Morgan Freeman, if you want to help the penguins, why don't you just hire them a fucking bus? Why don't you just hire a bus to pick up all the penguins at point A and then drive them safely to point B? We could play them a film like Happy Feet. Like, according to my research, we shouldn't even drive them to point B. I don't think it's very good for them. I think we should drive them to Madagascar. They seem to thrive there. I love that. I love the Blue Planet. That was great. I love that one because David Attenborough has to whisper more than normal. Because he goes to the bottom of the sea in his little submersible and he goes, these animals are so deep under our oceans, they have never seen daylight. Let's switch on our headlights. And then he just beams 8 million candles into a squid that's got eyes the size of dinner plates, and then he just drives around blinding them all, going, these animals are endangered and now lightly poached. Who wouldn't want a piece of buttered toast right now? Like, do you know what I learned from the Blue Planet? The bottom of the sea is really dull. It is. It's really dull. There's just nothing there, right? Like, if you've got a fish in a tank, you'd put a castle in it, wouldn't you? You're just scared the fish will get bored. But on the bottom of the sea, they've got nothing. Nothing. I mean, I know people say you shouldn't litter. I don't know, next time my car breaks, I'm going to roll it into the sea. I'm going to hope it reaches those little guys. Well, you saw how nuts they went for the Titanic. When they found that thing, there were fish all over it. They're like, don't take away our playground. Like, the next time my car breaks, I'm going to put some dead animals in the trunk. I'm going to boot that thing off a pier. Do you know what I've sent down? A theme park and a restaurant. Blue Planet, great. Frozen Planet, also very good. The one thing that got me about the Frozen Planet, did you see the scene with the baby seal? There's a little baby seal and he makes it onto a piece of ice and the killer whales spend about 40 minutes chasing him and then they rip him to shreds. As I was watching this, the one thing I thought was, Sir David Attenborough has such a lovely voice. I hope if I'm ever in a snuff film, that man narrates it. Just for my mother's sake, she likes to watch my work. My mother fantasizes about my death. Yeah, that was the end of that sentence. Well, it's just if I don't call her quite frequently, whenever she picks up the phone, she goes, oh, so you're not dead? And I go, well, no, Mum, I've been busy. And then she'll tell me how she thought I died. She'll be like, I thought you'd been hit over the head by heroin junkies and you were rotting dead in a ditch. It's like, no, Mummy, I'm in London. There aren't any ditches. But the weird thing is that I always have a violent death and I always end up in a ditch. Like, that's her aspiration for me. And my favourite one, she once said, I thought you'd been hijacked, this is how she stands, hijacked by human traffickers, sold into the slave trade, they got bored of your whining, and you were rotting dead in a ditch somewhere. I like that, because like a gang of human traffickers are gonna look at my 30-something-year-old body and go, that's got market value. Do you know what, Pete? I don't know why we were ever buggering about in Portugal nicking little blonde kids. Can I tell you something? The media coverage from that gig alone affected our bottom line. Our buyers have moved with the times, Pete. You know what's in right now? Vintage. We want to get something that looks distressed. My dad now talks to me in rhyming slang because I live in London. But it's not real rhyming slang. It's slang he's made up. He said, "Do you want anything? I've got to go to Sodom." When you're going where? He went, "Sodom, Sodom and Gomorrah, Marks and Spencer." That's not the rhyming slang for Marks and Spencer, Dad. That's the town in the Bible that God destroyed. Well, they should have stuck to making trifle. Huh? Like, and now because I've spent some time away from my parents, I can really see how bonkers my mum is too. It's really great. Like, I asked the very simple question, "What's for dinner, please?" And my mum literally went, "Well, it could be chicken, it could be beef, it could be fish, it could be peas." And then Dad went, "Oh, it's John Wayne." He went, "John Wayne, he was in the Westerns." Anybody. That's what I said. Spaghetti Western. He went, "No, you stupid girl, lasagna." Mum's still dancing. "It could be fish, it could be peas, it could be curry, it is lasagna." She tells my dad that men are flirting with her when they're not, because she wants to keep him interested and on his toes. Like, we went to the football and she went, "Oh, Desmond, that player is looking at me. Desmond, that 22-year-old player from France, the one with the nice bottom, he is looking right at me." And my dad responded, as any man who's been married for 40 years might respond with, "What are you talking about now, you mad bitch?" "Desmond, don't be silly. He's looking at me. I think he wants to take me in the corner. Maybe I should go over and play with his balls." Yeah, she's that mad. Like, I asked her to teach me how to sew, but I didn't realise that when you're bonkers, your teaching method is mystery and sarcasm. Like, I said, "Have I done this right?" And she went, "Well, I don't know. Have you?" "Have I?" She went, "Don't be a slattern. Read the pattern." I used to watch an advert on television. It was for Oxfam, and it said, "Give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, he will feed himself for a lifetime." And I used to watch that advert thinking, nope, not if my mum's teaching him to fish. Then you've just got a really awkward conversation next to a river in Kenya. It's this poor man just going, "Mrs. Spencer, I appreciate all of this equipment from the people of Oxfam, but you need to teach me how to use it. When the river's flowing, you better get going." "Mrs. Spencer, perhaps we could talk about casting off." "Desmond, he's waving his rod at me. Desmond, he's reeling me in. It's gonna get fishy in here, Desmond. Desmond! You mad bitch." I love living in London as well, because now I've got international friends. Check me out, thank you, yes. I have a Russian friend, and you have to forgive what she says, because she's Russian. She's not rude, she's Russian. Like, okay, you've got Russian friends, good, you get that. Like, we were having a drink, and she went, "Diane, you need to lose weight. You are slim, but you are not Russian slim." I went, "No, but I am English polite." And then she went, "Look, I am your friend, I help you. What do you need to do? This is the name of the drug you are going to buy. This is the name of the pharmacy. Now, the pharmacy is Polish. They cannot take any credit cards. You need to take cash, and it is behind the back of the other shops. There is no sign." So, I'm not just going to cut out toast. I'm going straight to Breaking Bad on this one. And she went, "Oh, Diane, you are beyond toast." And she went, "Okay, now when you take this drug, you will get no nutritional benefit from your food, so you might lose a little color." Don't know if you've noticed, mate, I'm ginger. My foundation shade is already magnolia. Like, there's only one reason any of you can see my face this evening, and that's because I've coloured bits of it in. If I don't colour bits of my face in, there's nothing there. Like, if I talk to you, I'm literally just white noise. That's it. And she went, you need to also buy sanitary towel or adult nappy, because you will not be able to make the feces, so you will lick shit from your asshole all the time. But this is very good leakage. So you cough, you leak shit. You laugh, you leak shit. You walk, you leak shit. You take this drug for 6 weeks. 6 weeks leaking shit out of me. She went, you take this drug for 8 weeks. And then you'll be Russian slim. It's like, oh, what a miracle pill is this? I said what every English person says when they get insulted. I went, oh, thanks. And I thought, I've got no interest in doing this absolutely at all. And I thought, what will my other friends say when they're kind of like, oh my God, have you seen Diane? She is pale, but she's super pale. Mate, that's not the problem. She stinks of shit. I went in a changing room with her. She's wearing a nappy. She looks like Gollum. Her hair's falling out. Her teeth's falling out. Like, is this drug just polonium? I think I've seen the end result of Russian Slim. That guy in the newspaper just lying at, am I on the cheerleading team yet? Like, yeah, stop Putin. I assume the rest of the sentence was, the food in my mouth. Like, I don't know. So I just went, nah, I'm fine. And she said, okay, but I have seen you, it's a matter of time. You like treats, you like chocolates and biscuits. You're always eating treats. Treats, treats, treats. You are lucky you are a human. You'd be a very fat dog. I said, mate, I'll be honest with you, this kind of conversation doesn't usually travel well in England, so I'm going to tell it to a room full of people. And she went, okay, well, fine, but make sure you'll tell the joke the right way round for once. So I said, well, okay, well, how would you tell this joke? And so this is how my friend would tell the joke. She went, okay. 2 women got into a bar. One is Russian Slim, the other is English Slim. The Russian Slim one, she marries a very rich man. He buys her yacht and many blings. The fat one dies alone in Wetherspoons. You see, Diane, it's funny because it's true. I think people are a bit obsessed, aren't they? Like, I went into a shop, I went into Topshop to buy jeans, right? And all of the jeans, all the styles of jeans were like slim, super slim, skinny, cling film. Like the only pair of jeans that had nothing to do with your size, do you know what they'd called it? Mum. Mum. I was like, have you at least got stepmum? Something a little bit filthier for the weekends, maybe. And all of the clothes were ripped. That's what I couldn't understand. Like the tops were ripped here and they had burn marks. And I just said to the assistant, everything's ripped. And she went, yeah. Well, you know Kanye West. Did he do this? She went, sort of, yeah. Well, he did a collection for Adidas called Yeezus, and that's what we're taking off of, and it's all like ripped and burnt and post-Acropolis. I'm sorry, it's what? Oh, post-Acropolis, like the end of the world, yeah, the Acropolis. And I was like, yeah, it looks very Grecian. This is exactly how I imagined Athens looked, right after the bailout. She gave me a pair of jeans, and I think they were elasticated with cheese wire, because they really cut in, and they cut in the middle of my 2 hips, because I've got 2 hips. I got the one up there and the one down there, and the no man's land in the middle. And they cut in because they were low rise. I had a muffin over the top, and I had a muffin wrapped up for later. I had 4 muffins. I felt like I was on sale at Greggs. And the worst part was there was a rip in the front of these jeans and my skin was rising out of the rip. I can only describe it, not that you would, but imagine if you farted in some cream. And I just looked awful. And the woman went, yeah, definitely get them. And I was like, no, they're horrid. She went, yeah, but they're in. And I was like, yes, but I'm not in them. I look like I've been ridden over by the 4 horsemen of the Acropolis. I decided at that point I was going to try and learn to sew and make my own clothes. I watched The Great British Sewing Bee, and that gave me inspiration. On The Great British Sewing Bee, they can make a top in 2 hours. I can't buy a top in 2 hours. I spend the first 2 hours trying to work out what size I am in each shop, because none of them are the same. Like, I go into Marks and Spencer's, I'm a 10. I went into All Saints, I'm a 16 to 18. I don't know what the fuck happened. All I did was walk 50 feet down my high street, and I didn't even have any treats because I'm a good dog. Great British Sewing Bee. Did anybody watch it? Okay, now you see there's like a few like, yeah, it was, the reason why not many people watched it was a little bit dull, a little bit twee. I think they should remake that program in a country with no labour laws. I think it would be a much more exciting program, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you tune in for the Great Bangladesh Sewing Bee? Well, in the Great British Sewing Bee, you had 8 people and they made a child's cape and then they had a bun. How British. Bit dull. In the Great Bangladesh Sewing Bee, there's 200 people. They've got to make the entire H&M catalogue before the floor collapses. You'd watch that, wouldn't you? Yeah. Much more exciting. So I was learning to sew. Can I tell you something? I'm so slow at sewing. I'm so slow. I can't make anything in any reasonable amount of time. I'm like those cyclists in France. 3 days of blood, sweat and tears. I might get a jersey. I'll definitely get needle marks. Really? I still wear my own clothes out. Like Kevin and I, we had a gig together in my favourite place, so I wore one of my own dresses. Can I tell you something? When you make your own clothes, you don't know how to wash them. That label's missing. I thought I'd made 3 dresses. I washed them. I'd made 1 dress, 1 tunic, and a pile of rags that we now use for the painting. But I thought, I'll wear the dress out, right? So Kevin and I, we had a gig together, and it was in my favourite garden, which is a garden on top of a skyscraper called the Walkie Talkie. It's beautiful. You get panoramic views of London. If you've never been, do go. Because the other place you could get panoramic views of London, up the Shard. Don't do it. I mean, like, they charge you £30. £30 to go up the Shard. What I can't get about that is that, for a start, it's called Shard, which is like, it sounds like shart, which is when you fart and shit yourself. So it's already an unpleasant sounding thing, but then to go up the Shard is just, I mean, 30 quid, you could go up me Shard. Like, I'm sure I've heard a prostitute in Weymouth say that. But my favourite skyscraper is the Walkie Talkie. And I don't know if you heard the news story, but it's concave and covered in glass. So the first time the sun hit it, it focused the sun's rays into a laser and melted a car on the street. I love things being set on fire. I mean, I don't know why we pay £30 million to keep Trident. We've got enough curved glass in London. All we have to do is add a couple of mirrors. We could set fire to the moon. But we had a gig up there, and so I thought, I'll wear my own dress, because I'm in my favourite park and I'm with my favourite man, right? Trains were on strike, so we were late, and it was a torrential downpour. So we were there huddling in the rain, and I said to Kevin, oh God, this can't get any worse. Who's this gig for? And he went, bankers? Now that's very bad. Because when bankers are in a crowd, you know instantly, because as a woman, when you walk on stage, they all go, hey, the stripper's here, get your tits out. It's the first thing they say. And I've learnt over the years to say, yes, I am a lady on stage. There's not going to be any music. I'm not going to take my clothes off, but I will try to entertain you, just with this pair of lips. And that joke has a 50-50 chance of working, depending on how much cocaine they've had. I mean, they say that 11% of banknotes are tainted with cocaine. I can tell you where the other 89% of the cocaine is. It's up their fucking nostrils. If you take a banker, put him in a plastic bubble, give him a shake, you've got a life-size snow globe. That's all I'm saying. So I was like, oh shit, this gig's just got worse. By the time we got there, we were super, super late. And I was really panicky. And when you do badly at a gig, you say you're going to die. And I said to Kevin, I'm just going to die. It's going to be horrible, and I'm going to die in my favourite place. I don't think the building likes bankers either, because that car that it set fire to, it was a Jaguar and parked in the financial district. I think it belonged to a banker. And that building just went, you've gambled with people's savings for too long, and just shot it with its solar-powered death ray. It's literally the people's eco-warrior. So I was like, I think I'm going to die, Kevin. And he just went, no, it's going to be fine. Oh my God, because as we were drying, my homemade dress started to warp and rip and tear and come apart at the seams. And Kevin went, are you the Hulk? You look like you're breaking out of your clothes. And I said, no, I can't help it. It's just what the fabric's doing. I'm not that advanced. By the time we got up, I was in a foul mood, and he just went, babe, calm down. I went, no, I'm going to fucking die in front of a bunch of bankers. And he went, look at this panoramic view. I went, oh, fuck the view. I'm going to die, and you can't even bury me because there are no ditches, and that's where I'm heading in life. He went, sit down. I went, you fucking sit down. And he went, oh, there is no gig. And he reached into his pocket, pulled out a ring box, and got down on one knee. And I was like, oh, this is my favourite place. Oh, this is the most beautiful moment of my life, and I'm ruining it with my whiny personality. And I just, he went, Diane Spencer, will you marry me? And I went, yes, I will. Can I just ask, there's no gig, right? And he was like, yes, there's no gig. And I said, does that mean I'm not going to get the money? Okay, yeah, we won't talk about that. Thank you, yay! Oh, it's so magic. I didn't get the money. We had a lovely meal, and then at the end we walked back along to the train station, and we got to Waterloo, and all the trains were stopped. And we said, but we need to get home. And the man went, where do you live? And I said, we live in Chessington. And he went, okay, well, how can I put it? The guards are on strike. They have been for 3 days. All of these commuters are paying extra every single year for an ever-decreasing service. There is a little old lady on platform 8 who I'm worried is starting to fossilise under the pressure of the 800 commuters around her. I'll be honest with you, it's chaos and misery everywhere. And at a time like this, you two want to go to a theme park. I want to ride the monorail. We got married in May. Yeah, it was lovely. Do you, Diane Spencer, take he who shall not be named? But who probably should for legal reasons. I think that's progress, because we got married in a non-religious ceremony. Isn't that good? I mean, you think about it. I am over 30 and I'm a ginger woman. In the 1600s, I'd have been burnt as a witch. In 2016, I can marry Voldemort. That's progress, isn't it? I didn't make my own dress. I got my dress made where everyone gets their dress made, China, yeah. It was made by Chinese children because they have such little fingers. Oh, don't worry, I did my ethical research. My Chinese kids were free range. Oh, am I too dark? Don't worry, the kids were there, and people said, are they going to be bridesmaids? And I was like, no, they're so young and so pretty. I don't want them on my aisle on my special day. I don't want the direct comparison. We go up in height, it'll look like the decay of woman. We let the kids do the cake. We bought them a lovely cake and some sugary flowers and some sugary glue, and we went, go for it. And on the day, the cake looked lovely, and I said, girls, fantastic job on the cake. And then 3PO, fussy as ever, went, Yes, well, we did have some problems because the flowers didn't stick on with the edible glue. Okay, baby, while they are cutting up the cake, do you want to tell me what you used? Keith chips in. We knew it was important, so we used Daddy's glue gun. Okay, baby. And then she went, yeah, but people don't eat wedding cake, do they? No, darling, not ours, they don't. No. My dad did the speeches, and he did a joke in the speech, which was really nice. Because he said, we know that Di is going to change her name. She's going to have 2 names now, one professionally, one privately. Reminds me of her great granny Elsie. Before she got married, she was Elsie Love. Then she got married to a man called Alcock. We're all waiting for it. I'm thinking double-barreled. Please don't tell me I'm related to Elsie Love's Alcock, please. And then he went, in the morning, she went from Alcock to Adcock. The whole room just sort of went, and I went, that was a great joke, Dad. And he went, yeah, it is, isn't it? It went down very well at her funeral. I said to my dad, look, I'm sorry, I'm probably not going to have any organic children. And he went, oh, that's fine. Do you know what? You shouldn't have kids. You shouldn't, medically speaking. I went, what? He went, well, at the start of your life, I never told you this, there were complications. At the very start, 97% chance you could have died. No. And he went, but lucky for you, the condom had a tear. And then my mum comes in. We call you the Holy Conception. I think they wanted it on my birth certificate. Product failure. I do wonder about having children of my own, but I'm not totally keen on it. I do wonder if the stepkids will come and visit me in the future, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, heaven forbid something happens to Kevin, and then I'm by myself. When they're adults, will they come and see me? Will I get a return on my investment? Or will they go and hang out with their biological mother? I wondered this once because I saw an advert on the train for Age UK. It had a little old lady sat by herself, and it went, Marge is alone this Christmas. And I looked at Marge and I thought, is Marge a stepmom? Is this where I'm heading? Turkey dinner for one and a late in life modelling career. And then I looked at Marge and I thought, do you know what? She looks really miserable. She looks like the kind of relative who makes you drive so you can't drink. She looks like the kind of relative who just turns up and drinks all of your good wine and never brings you a bottle. The kind of relative who just criticises the way you've cooked everything and then won't switch the telly off Miss Marple and then start saying racist things. Do you know what I mean? I thought, I bet she's still got family, but I bet she's ruined a lot of Christmases. Fuck you, Marge. I hope you fucking rot. I think these people at the front gone, we know that woman. That's your auntie or something like that. I could tell you know someone. My favourite mothering icon is Katie Price. I think she's great. Did you see that bit on Loose Women where they were talking about bullying and she had her son Harvey? Okay, for those of you who haven't seen it, it was amazing because like they're sat there and Katie, they're talking about internet trolls and Katie says, Harvey, what do we say to people? I'm Katie Price. What do we say to people, Harvey, who are rude to Harvey on the internet? And Harvey sat there and he went, hello. And you think, oh, pop it. And then Katie went, no, Harvey. I'm Katie Price. No, Harvey. What do we say, Harvey, when people are rude to Harvey? And then Harvey went, hello, you cunt. On live television. Nobody knew what to do, like Piers Morgan nearly sobered up. It was amazing. They all just go, ugh. And this one went, yes, well, we can see that this is a very serious topic. And then Katie said this, Harvey, Harvey. And the way she said it, you knew the rest of the sentence was, that's a word we use at home. And that's how I knew she's a brilliant mum. You know, every time somebody is there, she just defends him, and I love that. We already love Katie Price, me and the stepkids, because we watched her programme Signed by Katie Price. Did anybody see that? Yeah, now you see, trying to find somebody who's seen that, it's like trying to find a fucking leprechaun. Katie Price interviewed people to be the next her. Yeah, it was described on IMDb as, know anything about this show, be the first to add the plot. Like, no one understood it. And she would interview people and she would set them challenges. One of my favorites was she made them send out a perfume and they had to design it. And she had her perfume and she described it and it was all pink and nightimey and there was a wig. And she went, right, my perfume's called Dreams. That's 'cause I'm Katie Price. I'm a dream. You could tell someone was off camera going. She went, right, everything's pink. That's 'cause I'm a girl. The perfume's for girls. I'm Katie Price. She then actually went, the photo's taken at night. That's because dreams happen at night. I'm Katie Price. Like, I just think she's underutilised. Never mind Sir David Attenborough. I want Katie Price to narrate The Frozen Planet. The baby seal's made it onto the ice. He's gonna die. Those killer whales are massive. Why are we dragging this out? I'm Katie Price. I wanted her to do the Olympics. I would have enjoyed it more. Like, we sat there, me and the kids, just doing Katie Price narrates the Olympics. I mean, she wouldn't know anybody. Like, when you watch the Olympics, they always know who each person is, and they have a fun little fact about them, like, oh, this is Matabe, he's a Pisces, he loves custard. But, like, she wouldn't have known it. She'd have just been there going, right, it's the men's 100 metres. Don't know him, don't know him, don't know him, had a baby with him, don't know him. That's Usain Bolt. I'm Katie Price. That's why I love her. And I know she defended Harvey. I know the second that he got bullied, I know that she went, they're all cunts, Harvey. I'm Katie Price. Yeah, I'm Katie Price. No, you're Harvey. I'm Katie Price. I'm Katie Price. No, they're cunts, you're Harvey. I'm Harvey, they're cunts, I'm Katie Price. Yeah. She's better than my mate Lisa. My mate Lisa's horrible. She's got 2 children. She's got a beautiful little baby boy and a 4-year-old girl called Satan. Oh, you know her. And I went round to visit them and Lisa's there with a beautiful little baby boy and she stands up and she went, I'm going to put him down. And I went, oh, don't. He's my favourite out of the 2 of them. I'm going to put him to bed. You watch Sarah. I was like, oh, that's how it's pronounced. So me and Satan are sat there, and Satan is colouring on anything that's not the paper. So the wall, her mum's Jimmy Choo, whatever, right? She's just scribbled on everything. And then she just throws down her crayon and goes, I want to go to the toilet. I know. Okay, now I'm a step parent. We don't absorb energy, we just pass it on. Like the Tai Chi of parenting. It's quite useful, like if a child does something wrong and someone comes up to you and goes, your little girl just smashed over my flower pots, you're allowed to go, whoa, here's the number of the woman you want to talk to. I'd be careful, she's a little snappy. I want to go to the toilet. So I went, okay, Lisa, Sarah wants to go to the toilet. She'll be with you in a minute. Lisa yells back, well, take her to the toilet. I was like, oh, okay. So we walked to the bathroom and we stood at the door. And I went, there you go. And she went, oh, I want to do a poo. You may. But she didn't move. I was like, you're not a tube of toothpaste. I can't squeeze it out for you, Poppet. And then she went, oh, you have to hold my hand. Lisa! I was like, what is Lisa doing? Please, don't get me wrong, I've never had a baby. But how long does it take to put a baby in a bed? Surely you're done. And she went, yeah, I know, hold her hand, would you? Have you ever held a stranger's hand when they're taking a dump and you're sober? and they are staring at you like it's your fault. Like, I don't know what Lisa is feeding the child, but clearly it burns, because the child made hissing noises. She was going, "Eh! Eh!" And she wouldn't stop staring at me. I was like, why do we have to make eye contact? And I looked away and I can see a mirror and I see her still staring at the back of my skull as she's going, "Eh!" And then the smell hit me. And I was just sitting like, are you on slimming pills? What are you eating? Lisa's a fibber. That's why I don't like her. I do like her, but I don't. Like, when she gave birth to the baby boy, that was the troublesome one. The second one, which is unusual, right? And I went to see her afterwards, and she was there lying in hospital just holding herself, and she went, "I'm gonna fucking kill him." I went, "Who are you gonna kill?" She went, "My husband. I'm gonna kill him." She went, "I used to have 3 holes, now I've got 1 hole. I've been torn into just 1 windsock." She said, "My twirnt's on the floor." Twirnt is a Dorset term. It's the bit of you between your fanny and your bumhole. Because if it tweren't there, you'd be in trouble. Lisa's in trouble. She went, "My twirnt's on the floor." She went, "Promise me." She grabs me. She goes, "Promise me you won't do this to yourself." And I went, all right, I promise. A week later, we're in a pub. And there's all of us around, there's a couple of girly mates, they're thinking about giving birth, thinking about having kids. And they say to Lisa, "What is it like to give birth?" And Lisa's there, makeup done, hair done, glass of white wine. And she went, "Well, I was in labour for 10 hours, but it was the most beautiful moment of my life." I was like, "You fucking liar. Tell him the rest. Come on, tell him what you told me. Tell him the thing about all your holes. Start telling them that." And she went, And I was like, "Yeah, that's why you had all the trouble. If you're as tight-lipped down there as you are up there, no wonder the poor little bastard had to claw his way out. Open your handbag, get out your twirnt. I know that's where you keep it." I hope the next one comes out of her mouth. Lying little fibber. I really do. I hope the next baby, when it gets made, it goes, "I can't go down there, I'll just fall out." And I hope it just climbs up her inside. She spends 10 hours go, "Bleh!" Because then when we're at the bar a week later, she will not be able to lie. Because they'll sit there and they'll go, "Oh, what was it like? What was it like giving birth? Should I have a baby?" And Lisa will have to be there going, "Well, I was in labour for 10 hours. But, you know, it was the most beautiful moment of my life." She said, "You should have your own children." I said, "I can't, I have problems." I meant Satan. She went, "We could fix your problems, we've got IVF." And I went, "No, I can't. I have 2 arseholes." Yeah, I don't have a fanny. Just 2 arseholes. Don't tell Kevin, he eats out of one of them. She said to me, she said, "You should have your own kids." And I said, "No." And then she went, "Oh, well, you've got great practice, you know, because you've got the stepkids. Wonderful practice for when you have real kids." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, who cares how 3PO and Keith turn out?" Do you know what? No, they're mine. Because one day, right, Chloe, that's Keith's real name, see, I do remember. Chloe's guinea pig died, and they came round, and Kevin had a gig, so he waved him off, and then I said, "What do you want to do?" And Chloe went, "Ah, I forgot to tell Dad." And then Ellie went, "Oh, is it still in your bag?" I reached down, and Chloe pulls out a little plastic container with a dead guinea pig in it. And I don't know how he died. I think he died running. He's like this. She went, "That's Pumpkin." And I went, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she went, "Can we have a funeral?" And I said, "Of course we can. Do you want to bury him in the garden?" And then she went, could we do what you told us the Vikings do? You want to put him on a little raft, push him out to sea and set him on fire? And she went, yeah. How can you say she is not my child? I said, of course we can. So we got some plastic water bottles, we made a little raft, and we wrapped them in tissue paper, and we put them on the top. And I said, now look, see, we've got a little pond. We've got a little pond out the back of the garden, and it's like sort of this big. I didn't fancy taking it to the Thames. Hello, officer. This is exactly what it looks like. We took it to the pond, and I said, now girls, I don't know what the combustible rate of a dead guinea pig is, so please don't expect pyrotechnics. And then 3PO went, what about lighter fluid? I was like, you're a genius. And it was at the point where I was soaking the dead guinea pig in lighter fluid that I thought, would a real parent have said no? I lit it. It was great. It just went like that. We all went, ah! And it was wonderful because it burnt for a bit. I mean, the plastic water bottle, it kind of melted. It took on water. The whole thing dipped. But then Pumpkin slid off the top, but he floated. And he's still on fire. And we were like, go, Pumpkin, you can make it. And it was great. And I look at the kids. 3PO delighted, over the moon. Keith, oh, wait a minute. She is happy, but her little face is flickering. And I suddenly realised maybe it's got a bit real for her because this was her guinea pig. And we've just set him on fire. And I was like, oh, I don't want her to cry. This was supposed to be fun. And I said the only thing that I could think of to say in that fraction of a second, I just went, the guinea pig. Some people think it's born in Guinea, but it's not. That's a load of rubbish. Pumpkin was the ginger guinea pig. He had a little mane. He looked like a lion. We'll miss him, but now he's dead and gone. But he's gone to heaven, yeah? And we all looked at each other, and as three, we all went, I'm Katie Price. It's not exactly the Lord's Prayer or a family motto you should really have, but it'll do for us. I've got a family tree now with my 2 little stepkids. They're my artificial branches. I'm quite happy with that. And you know what? I love being a mother because now I've got opinions. Well, nobody cared about my opinion on education when I was a secondary school teacher. Now that I'm a mother, oh, they listen. I think that we should teach sewing in schools. Yeah. And I think we should teach them when they're 4. And the first thing they make is their own uniforms. Now, if you're a little bit worried about that, if you're thinking, Di, I don't think that we should give 4-year-olds scissors and needles, please don't worry. The kids in Bangladesh, they manage it. I'm sure little Monty and Jonty will be fine. What happens is they make their own uniforms, and the ones who finish early, they get to make coats. And they are the lucky ones, because they will survive the winter. Thank you so much for coming to this and being a part of my special. My name is Diane Spencer. Thank you very much.